Hey, I'm Brian Van.
I'm Max Van.
And today we're going to recap
MotoAmerica Round 3, SportbikeTracker.com Junior Cup Series at MotoAmerica.
We're a little late with this one. We have an excuse. We have a valid excuse. We just got back from
The Ridge.
And
we were busy right before.
Oh, we were busy. This has been a very challenging. Before we dive into this, what I'm going to say is anyone who's chasing a national series like this, who has ever chased one, I had no idea the amount. Well, it's amazing. I wouldn't label it bad. It's just a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
The amount of commitment that's involved in this, right, is you can't even put words to it.
No, not at all.
The effort it takes. We're having a blast. Let's go to MotoAmerica. That was your first time there, man. What'd you think of the racetrack?
I thought it was a lot of fun, but the first session I struggled and I was off pace, which I wasn't really satisfied with. But it was just a matter of getting used to the track, I think.
It happens. Qualifying on Friday. Let's talk about Friday's qualifying.
Qualifying one, it just wasn't a good session overall. The bike was honestly handling great. It was bottoming out in some areas, but I felt good overall, you know. But the thing was, the transmission in the 400s, they kind of get worn down over time, and it starts to pop out of gear. And as it does that more and more. I don't know, like as you ride it. And in qualifying one, every lap it pop out of gear, which is at least, I don't know, half a second, because you're going from 6th gear pinned and like climbing RPMs, and it'll drop down to 5th gear and then rev limiter the whole time.
Yeah, it was a mess. So long story short, he qualified in P10 on Friday. Somebody got DQ'd in front of him, bumped him up to 9. Yeah. Not what he was looking for, right? He came into Parc Ferme. We learned a lesson that day, didn't we, pal?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. It's okay if you have a problem. It's okay if you want to talk about the problem. But do you ever complain about your equipment or anything in front of other people?
No, I learned from that.
You did, yeah, and that's okay. We all learn lessons all the time, and so, you know. He was pretty animated about it, and when we went and looked at the data, Jimmy looked at the data, Max was like, it popped out of gear 10 times. No, it was actually 11.
Yeah.
So Friday afternoon, after that qualifying session, I had another motor ready to go. We just didn't have time to put it in, and honestly, I didn't listen to my rider enough before. I learned a lesson too. I should have changed that before we went to MotoAmerica. I did not do that. I installed the engine, the motor at MotoAmerica in the afternoon. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was like
it didn't take you as long.
It was like 90 degrees or whatever. It was fantastic.
It was hot.
So we got the engine installed and race ready for Q2 on Saturday. Okay, man, let's move on to Q2 on Saturday.
Saturday, Q2, I felt a lot better. I think I dropped 1.2 seconds, which moved me up from P9 into 6th, and I was pretty happy with that for the race. But I was still 2.2 seconds off the qualifying time, so I didn't.
Oh, Ben laid it down,
Ben
dude.
killed everybody, Ben Glady. So I didn't think anybody was honestly going to be able to hang with Ben at MotoAmerica for the races at all.
Race 1. So we were real happy with that qualifying effort. You know, it showed that the rider was right, and the transmission thing was an actual issue. He went a lot faster. He got himself into a better position. He was actually P5 in Q2, but somebody had went faster, which is not normal. On Friday, I think it was Max Toth, went a little quicker on Friday than he did on Saturday, so you ended up in P6, which you've been there many times. That was a great starting position.
Yeah.
Race 1.
So race 1 went well. I didn't really battle with anybody. I was on the back. I was in the group the whole time. The group that was battling for the win, but I just stayed on the back. I was a bit nervous to pass. I don't know why. I always get nervous to pass, but I ended up running, I think, the 6th fastest lap of the race, and on the last lap, I was planning to make a couple moves going into Canada Corner, drafting-wise, and I don't know, going into the chicane right after the carousel, I entered too hot to where I was either take the rider out in front of me, which is Max Toth, or run wide, and I decided to run wide and kind of lost touch with the group and wasn't able to draft. So I ended up P7, I think, 3 seconds off the win because kind of lost the draft and made a mistake running wide. But that's okay.
It's all good. You know, what not everyone knows is, you know, Max has 6 race weekends before we went to MotoAmerica. You know, so now we have a grand total after the Ridge of, we've completed how many race weekends? Is it
I think 12 almost now.
I think it's actually
13.
Yeah, we don't acknowledge number 13, so we'll pretend it's 14.
Yeah.
So he's learning how to race at MotoAmerica, right? You're learning racecraft, racing with arguably the best riders in the country on these bikes, week in and week out.
Yep.
And where this is relevant is race 2. I mean, dude, that was unbelievably exciting to watch.
That was fun.
Oh, it's
it was
dope.
fun to be in it too.
I want to tell a lot of this, right? Okay, Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday, race 2. I'm going to start this one off.
Go for it.
Because, dude, this was exciting. From a fan's perspective, all of us sitting there, because, hey, we're fans, we're his crew, but we're fans too. Sitting here watching this race, Grandpa Johnny was out there, right? We had a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Elizabeth and Shawnee Boy were out there. Great time. So we're watching this race. Totally different rider on Sunday. Instead of riding around at the back of the pack going, hey, man, I'm up here, but what in the hell do I do with it? What did you start doing?
Making passes and stuff.
Started making passes and stuff. You know, you started working on that racecraft. He led for, in total, over a lap.
Yeah.
Ton of passes. Max Van turned the fastest race lap of the weekend in the SportbikeTrackYear.com MotoAmerica Junior Cup, which is pretty bitching, dude.
It was a lot of fun.
So I'll let you tell him how that lap. When did that lap come?
Which one?
The fastest lap of the weekend.
So, I don't know. On the first lap, I got caught behind a slow rider. Not really slow, but just had to get around him, and I kind of lost touch with the group. Second lap, or first full lap coming around, as I would say, like no start finish. So I came around the finish line, and I was on the lap, and I was a bit far back from the group, and I was still working my way to try and catch up. And coming across the line on the second lap, you can tell, like you can see, because when they were playing the video or recording us, they had a helicopter view, and I was way off the group, so I didn't really have much of a draft. But I ended up setting the fastest race lap of the weekend at a 40.1 something.
40.1 on a Ninja 400 with no draft. It wasn't as fast as Ben's qualifying lap, but it was the fastest race lap of the weekend, which is super bitchin'. Watching him swap for the lead, I mean, you broke so deep into a couple of those corners a few times. It was just epic to watch.
Yeah.
You led the white flag lap. You were the first one across the stripe. It's just the wrong lap.
Yeah.
I mean, you're inching ever closer, right?
Yeah.
But you found some aggression, which is something that you need to learn, as we talked about earlier. You're learning racecraft. You know, not everyone knows that about you. You don't have a lot of race weekends under your belt, man. I mean, because we don't acknowledge number 13, you have 14 race weekends that you've completed in your life. Now you're out here trying to learn how to make passes and do all this stuff in a live fire situation with the best riders in the country on these bikes.
Yeah.
Super exciting race to watch.
A lot of fun, yeah.
Where'd you finish?
P4, and I was, I think, 0.2 off the win going across the
0.2 off the win. That could have just as easily been a win. It could have easily been a podium. It was, from a fan's perspective, epic to watch. You know, we had Grandpa Johnny there. We had Shawnee Boy there. My sister Elizabeth, Jimmy, Abby, of course, Mom.
Yep.
Abby Davis was there,
My
right?
girlfriend, yeah.
Sophia was there.
My sister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
it was
wife,
awesome.
his mom, Marcine. It was bitchin'. Super exciting.
Yeah.
You know, so here's the deal. Here's the reality of the situation. When we decided to do this, he has so much to learn. I built him a really nice bike. Let's be fair. Built you a really nice bike. But there's some areas, I wouldn't say I cut corners, but there's some areas I could have put a little more into it. But my expectations were we were competing for 10th place each weekend for the whole season. I'm not trying to talk down on you, but you just had so little experience. I didn't really see you leading races, which you've now led races multiple times. You know, for that reason, now the old man is working harder on the bike to make it a better motorcycle. Yeah. We'll talk about that in the recap for the Ridge, because we did some stuff there. We're really moving forward as a team. Road America was epic. Yep. We had a lot of fans come by.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Gave away a lot of these T-shirts.
A ton.
You come out to the rounds. We are giving these away
for free
of charge, because we appreciate all you guys.
Yep.
Love the interaction. Come on over and see us. You got anything else you want to drop in on this one?
Well, I just want to say congratulations to my friend Gus Rodeo in race 2. I actually battled with him a little bit.
Oh wait, hang on. Gus Rodeo! Oh, it was awesome.
He ended up winning. He had never gotten on the podium. He's been very close.
Several times.
Crazy close.
Yeah, several
But
times.
He ended up on the first time he got on the podium. He crossed the checkered in first.
It was
pretty
bitching.
Cool. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was bitching.
Yeah,
that
it
was
awesome.
You know what? And one of the things that my wife and I teach Max is that celebrate your friends. Even if you didn't get what you wanted, right? Celebrate your friends. Because if you want them to celebrate you when hopefully your moment comes, right? You have to have first, given back. And it makes just the whole experience better. Sportsmanship is a huge part of this. You can't be a salty dog if you didn't get what you wanted during the race, right? You haven't gotten what you wanted yet.
I've been close, but no.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, having a ton of fun.
And you're taking the time to congratulate all your buddies, week in and week out. And I'm sure that part of that is a little difficult because you're like, shit, man, I want to be up there, right?
Yeah.
It is, but that's life, right? Super important. Sportsmanship is a very important component of life, and that's something we're working real hard on with him, and he's doing a great job of managing that. I think our time's coming.
Yep.
We're inching closer every day. Thank you to everyone out there that has supported our company over the 16 years that we have been here. Family owned, family operated, no corporate bullshit here at sportbiketrackyear.com.